are you today? I hope you're all doing well. In our past life class, we were trying to do fraction, but the background was quite noisy. We all are making noise, so I couldn't do fraction. So today, I'm going to be doing fraction. Now, let's look at this way. Fraction. Fraction. You remember what I said fraction means? Can any of you remember what I say fraction means? Fraction is all about sharing. Fraction is all about sharing, dividing. That's all what fraction is about. You can also say division. You can also say division, but I want to stick with dividing, sharing. When you have something you share, when you have something you divide among yourself. Now, for example, let's say this is a biscuit. Can we call it a biscuit? Or what biscuit do you like to eat? Pure Bliss. Okay, let's say this is one Pure Bliss. And I'm going to share this Pure Bliss between Kelvin and, let me see who. Let's say Kelvin and Ikram, just two of them. So I'm going to divide this Pure Bliss into two equal halves. Now, Kelvin gets one part, Ikram gets another part. But there are two parts, so this is one, and this is going to be the second part. If you break it like this, it's going to be like this. The part that you get will look something like this. That's the part of the biscuit you get. And this is half of the biscuit. Half. So I just shared it between two people. So this is 1, 2. That means the part you got is 1 out of the 2. So 1 out of the 2, that is half. 1 over 2 is half. So anywhere you see 1 over 2, that means half of that thing. Okay, so let me draw another one. Let me use this part. Okay, now this is another Pure Bliss, but I'm going to be sharing it for 4 people. So I divide it here and I divide it here. Now how many parts do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 parts to this biscuit. So if I pick just one part of this biscuit, let's say I just pick one part like this, just like this, just one part of it. You remember, I divided it into 4 parts. So I picked one part, so it's going to be 1 out of the 4 parts. So this one is called quarter. It's a quarter. And this one I said this is half. This is half, 1 over 2. Quarter is 1 over 3. 1 over 4, I mean. And then one whole biscuit without cutting it, without dividing it. This is 1 whole. 1 whole. You understand? 1 whole. Let me recap. Let me go through it again. I said fraction is about sharing. It's about dividing anything. It's about dividing it. It can be into 8. It can be into 10, depending on how many. But once you pick one part of it, it becomes 1 over 10 or 1 over 2. That is if you divide it, if whatever you have is divided into 2, like this. I divided it into 2, so one part of it is 1 over 2. And if you divide it into 4, a part of it will be 1 over 4. That's a quarter, and this is a half, and this is 1 whole without dividing it. Now, this is what I want you to do for me in your exercise book. You're going to draw a whole, a half, and a quarter. Draw it, snap it, and send it to me. Is that taken? Now, I'll show you some other things we can use for measuring half, whole, and quarter. Remember when we talked about capacity, when we did measurements? Now, look at this very well. Look at this cup. Can you see the number written there? 1 over 8. That means if you measure this 8 times, it's going to fill this cup. That's what it means. Can you see 1 cup? This is 1 cup, and this one is half. 1 over 2. That means this has been divided into 2. it will give you 1 whole. Now this is let me see, do I have 1/4 here? Yeah, I do. Now this is 1/4. This is a quarter of this. Now if I pour liquid here 4 times, it's going to fill this cup. Same with this, my spoon here. Can you see this, my big spoon here? This is 1 tablespoon. This is 1 tablespoon. You can see how big it is. I would like to eat golden morn with it. It's going to be nice. And this is 1/8. 1/8 of this 1 tablespoon. So whatever I'm measuring here, for it to fill this big 1 tablespoon, I have to measure here 8 times. Do you understand? That's all about fraction, dividing and sharing. Now you go back to the classroom and see all the other works I have for you. Thank you. Bye.